Hi, my name is Emmanuel Nawesh, and thank you so much for taking some of your precious time to spend the next few moments with me as we reflect on how can we choose faith over fear. And then the reason why I picked this theme or topic is to help each other, understand that it's not really fear that can help us be healthy. Fear can affect us. Fear can divide us. Fear can paralyze us to the point that we cannot perform to the best of our abilities. And today what I'm going to do is to help us find a way to first of all to understand the anatomy behind fear, the anatomy of fear, and how fear can affect not only our human body but also affect our human mind. So first of all, let me take you to this. I'm going to show you this quick. Yeah, you need to understand that when we think of the human body and then the human mind, these are two, it's like two sides of the same coin. And when we think of the human mind, we're talking about that invisible part of our brain, because that's where everything takes place. You may have heard what you think is what you become. So you are what you think. So the way you think, or whatever you choose to set your mind on, can really shape your behavior. It can shape your character, change your personalities, and even affect your human body. So when we think of fear, in other words, we let our human body kind of like be superior to our mind, the human body to tell us what we need to focus on, or what we need to pretty much govern our lives, or dictate how we should live, how we should interact and be with each other. I'll give you an example. When you're talking about fear, think of of a snake. So you go to a jungle or someplace, a tropical forest or any forest, or even behind in your backyard, if you are in kind of like in a rural area. So you go there, let's say there's a snake, and the snake may have probably baby snakes or kid snakes. So the snake may end up biting you if the snake feels threatened. Out of fear, it can bite you. And the same with a cat, the same with a dog. When a dog is afraid, or any animal is afraid, out of that fear, they can hurt you. And that's an animal instinct. Not only animals have, but you and I, we also have the same thing. When you study the brain, neuroscientists would say that there is something in the brain that makes you always either choose to fight or flee. So it's fight or flight. And that the animal responds to fear. And fear comes out of the state of being when your body dictates what your mind should focus on. So that's fear. But faith is the other way around. So it's a reverse process. So, in other words, it's your mind telling your body what to do. The human body, I'm looking at the anatomy of the human body. and the physiology. The anatomy, that's kind of like the structure. And the physiology, it's how these structures and organs and tissues, how they interact. But the brain is the key, kind of like the CEO of how you operate, how you function as a human body, as a human being. So faith is you go beyond this human anatomy and physiology. You dictate. Your mind tells your body how to feel. Fear, it's your human body telling itself how to feel. So suppressing the ability to control your feelings from your mind. So your mind has no power. And in that situation, that's how we end up fighting and dividing each other and splitting, moving away from each other and hurting each other. What you see in the news is in a lot of places as a result of fear. People are in fear. And because of fear, we fight each other. Because of fear, we divide each other. We divide ourselves. We are a divided house, a divided country, a divided church. And again, because of fear. Faith goes beyond, takes us beyond fear, because it helps us focus on the things that are bigger than what we feel in the body, things that transcend our physiology, our anatomy. They transcend our state of being as humans. And that's where we learn how to love each other, how to be patient with one another. We learn how to bear with each other. There's a scripture I'm going to read quick here. Those who live according to the flesh have their minds set on what the flesh desires. But those who live in accordance with the Spirit have their minds set on what the Spirit desires. The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. The mind governed by the flesh is hostile to God. It does not submit to God's law, nor can it do so. Those who are in the realm of the flesh cannot please God. Of course, Paul, who's believed to be the author of this letter to the Romans, he's talking about two things here. So he's talking about the flesh, and of course the flesh, according to the letter to the Romans, the flesh implies a sinful way of life, a way of life that isn't pleasing to God. But also it speaks to the human body. It speaks to the failure to let our human mind focus instead of what we desire, but it focuses on what God desires. Something bigger, something better. So moving from fear, anger, doubts to love, peace, tolerance, and patience. And when you think of fear and faith, people, they sometimes use those feelings. They use them to push their agendas because they want you, somebody who wants you to come on their side so that you can move from supporting some other people. They may say something so bad about the other people and then make themselves look so nice, so great. And that's why personally I don't watch a lot of news, because again, faith comes from what we hear. So what do you listen to? If you listen to something that doesn't really increase your faith and doesn't really help you build up, grow as a human being, as a believer, as a child of God, then that thing may create fear in you. The opposite of faith is fear. Faith makes you believe that there is something better coming. Faith makes you believe in people. Faith makes you welcome people and show hospitality to even people who don't look like you. Faith makes you make your home a place, a safe place, not only for your family members, but for also your neighbors, for the stranger. Faith helps us not only focus our mind on the things of God, the things of above, but also it enables us to be healthy. And I'm going to show you something quick here. And I believe I have it here. Let me see. Yeah, I do. You know, when you think of faith, it improves your state of being in so many ways. First of all, physically, it helps you sleep at night. Fear takes your sleep away from you. When you are afraid, you don't sleep. You keep thinking of things that you can't even resolve and even solve because you are in fear. When you are in fear, as you know, I use the example of snakes and animals, you'll always be ready to fight or flee or hurt somebody else. And you do it not because you have evil intentions, but you do it to protect yourself, because when you are in a state of fear, you feel that you are always under attack. So that's why when somebody talks to you, you yell back, you get angry, because you feel like the entire universe is really after you and against you. You are under attack. And that's why I told you, I said, you know, I don't watch much of the news. I don't spend more than 30 minutes a day to watch the news. I do take a look at the news on the internet quickly, but I don't want to dwell in what people are saying. I want to know what's going on, yes, but I don't want to dwell in the news, because a lot of times it just creates fear. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to say don't watch the news. I'm saying just be careful. Watch what you allow into your mind. Because remember, faith will make your mind stronger. And when your mind is stronger, you have the power, you have the willpower to really tell your body that I cannot dwell in fear. I can't live in fear. I am choosing faith. And when you choose faith, these are the things that will happen to you. You sleep well and better. You are willing to learn. Of course, learn about God, learn about people. Learn about the people that you don't understand. Learn about things that you do not understand. It improves your behavior. You have a better behavior. You learn how to relate to others, how to relate to other people. And when you think about cognition, you're talking about your ability to understand, perceive, the ability to, even the sense of awareness. You become more aware of your own feelings and emotions. You become more aware of other people's feelings and emotions. And at the end of the day, you master all of those feelings. And you master the way you should always interact with other people. Your body's response to stress also improves. Because when you are a believer, you choose faith over fear, the level of stress will go down. Yeah, the level of stress goes up when we live in fear. We want to dwell on things that we can't solve. We want to dwell on things that other people tell us about us. No, dwell on things that you can solve, and the things that you cannot solve, just surrender them to God. So faith moves you to the point where you believe in this bigger plan. And this bigger plan, what it does, it helps you choose to honor God in your body. So you understand that my body is so essential to the way I live my life, the way I conduct myself every day. God needs your body. So your health, physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional really matters. It really matters because your body is the temple of God's Spirit. Your body is the temple of God's Spirit. And I'm going to close with this. When when you let you focus your mind on the things of above, meaning you let faith, or you choose faith over fear, you become stronger enough to conquer fear. Everything that isn't the truth, according to scripture, you don't believe it. You resist it. You say no to lies. Even when you watch the news, anything that is there to divide people, say no to that. Don't believe it. Hey, you know what? We worship a God who still heals people. I believe that even in this pandemic season, God is still at work. I believe in the mission of the church, physical church. It is this physical space where when people enter it, when people come into this space, God can still heal people mentally, emotionally, and even physically. So choose faith instead of fear. That's my message today. Hey, you know what? You find me on my blog, and that's Emmanuel Naweji, emmanuelnaweji.com. That's where you find me. Or you can also go to my my YouTube channel, Emmanuel T. Naweji, and that way, I need you to subscribe if you haven't done so. And that way you will be notified every time I publish a video similar to this one. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. God bless you. Choose faith over fear, and I'll see you next week.